Welcome everyone to episode 100. That's 100. That's 3 digits of episodes of a year of Final Fantasy. And in fact, this is just about 1 year after the first episode was created, released, whatever you want to call it. And that actually brings into the light the purpose of this year of Final Fantasy, because it's actually not a year. It's going to be more than a year. It's going to be 15 months. And I believe I said that back then. But yes, this is a year and 3 months of Final Fantasy, but that doesn't really roll off the tongue very well. So naming conventions aside, regardless, this is the 13th month here on a year of Final Fantasy and the 31st official year of the Final Fantasy series. The franchise, looking back, has had a remarkable impact on my channel, and I'm proud to have this set of videos that are the most comprehensive on the franchise as a whole. Of course, there are wikis and everything out there like that, but this is a video project, and I'm very happy to bring this to you. So looking back, it's fitting that the past year we've talked about what many people consider the golden age of Final Fantasy, whereas now we're going to step into the more recent titles, which are a little bit more divisive, and I say that chuckling a little bit because these are the most divisive Final Fantasies that we've ever taken a look at, especially this month where we're going to be looking at Final Fantasy 13. To be fair, I think we can all agree that it's at least one of the most criticized entries in the entire series, despite whether or not that you really enjoyed it. It's definitely contentious among the fans as a whole. And, you know, whenever Final Fantasy 13 came out, I did agree with that, but I will admit right now that I was wrong. Now, Final Fantasy 13 isn't my favorite Final Fantasy by all means, but after I played it once, waited several years, I went back and kind of knew what I was getting myself into, and I really actually did enjoy it quite a bit. Now, we'll talk a lot more about Final Fantasy 13 and my opinions on it a little later, but this is just a, it's a journey for the fans, this whole series. And it's funny, that 100 episodes fell basically on the first of the year, and it wasn't planned like that at all, but several times so far this has happened. Let's say with Final Fantasy 6 was our 50th episode. So yeah, I'm really happy that it kind of just worked out like that. And another piece of, well, I don't know, useless information, I guess, but in reference to this 13th month, this Final Fantasy 13 month, we have this crazy YouTube channel called the Crystarium Network that you're watching right now, and that actually came from Final Fantasy 13. It's the progression system in that game called the Crystarium, and that is similar to, let's say, Final Fantasy 10 sphere grid leveling. It's kind of strange because, like I said, 13 isn't necessarily my favorite of the games or anything like that, but I don't know, I just liked how the name sounded for whatever reason, and that kind of just gives it a closeness to me that I really enjoy. And in hindsight though, let's be fair, it probably held me back since the majority of people don't really like Final Fantasy 13, but some of them even say it's the worst game ever, so who's really looking for the Crystarium? But you know what, I'm gonna stick with it regardless. As the future goes, like I said earlier, we have 3 more months left until this project officially comes to an end. Next month we have Final Fantasy 14, the second, maybe even third, you could argue, of the MMOs in the series, and one of the miracles of gaming just in general, of the gaming industry, and it's insane. And of course, finally, we're going to end in March, which we'll talk about the more recent entry of Final Fantasy 15 and its impact on the franchise. And it's actually a fantastic culmination of where this whole Final Fantasy thing has been heading towards. So here, this series is set to end, like I said, officially at the end of March 2018, and you'll be getting 125 episodes, a nice round number. However, as this is my first massive project, I don't really intend to let it fall to the wayside. As games and series come out later on throughout the years, assuming I'm still doing this, you can definitely expect more videos about Final Fantasy. It's just not going to be on this incredibly fast pace. I'm sure I'll just simply call them appendix videos or something like that as games come out and news surfaces. Videos will just appear as they need to appear. And we know that future games are going to come out that are going to be part of this series. We have the Dissidia NT game that's coming out at the end of January 2018, and we also have Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's a real kind of weird question here because that's definitely not going to be out by the time this ends, but I think it does deserve a proper video with just how insane and crazy that remake is going to be. So I'll figure out what to do with that probably in the month of March. And right now, as of this recording, assuming obviously that we're going to get Final Fantasy 16, it has actually not been officially announced yet, so there's not a lot I can say about that right now. And the last thing I want to do with this video, we've looked at where we've been, where we're coming, where we're going. And one of the real big reasons this video exists is that I want to give you a call out to all the creators out there. During the last month of this year, Final Fantasy in March 2018, at some point, the project, like I said, it's going to wind down, but I want to do a video over the fans and how they've been influenced from Final Fantasy. I'd like your support if you are a content creator. I want to do this mini compilation video about the fans, by the fans, for the fans, of what Final Fantasy means to you, how it's affected your life maybe, or your gaming habits, or whatever, you know. Just maybe like a short 45-second-ish video, maybe a minute long, something like that. So if you are interested in that, get in contact with me through the back end of my channel or email me. You should be able to find the email in the description below, or it should be showing on the screen right now as I say this. All of that being said, it's been definitely an insane year of Final Fantasy. I didn't think I would keep up with this project as much as I have, but you know what? I did. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting me. If you want to support this project or our podcast or anything on Patreon, we do have one of those. It's patreon.com/Crystariumnet, as everything else is. So I just wanted to make this video to give you an update on everything. This is 100 episodes. It's absolutely insane. And next time, we're going to be diving right into the Fabula Nova Crystallis, that whole project of Final Fantasy 13 and the games surrounding it. So as always, until next time, Crystal Warriors, keep on gaming. And thank you so much for watching.